So the 2019 Telstra South Australian Business Woman of the Year is Daphne Crowhurst.
So I think I can say thank you to my friends that support me and will continue to, my staff and family. I'm sort of starstruck actually. I think that the important fact here is that all I do is sell paint. Like, I can't believe it. I kept saying to my staff and my family, don't bother, I just sell paint. Everybody else does such important things. They heal people, they research, they look after the sick and the elderly, the disabled, and I sell paint. I'm gobsmacked. But I guess I sell paint in a manner that is collaborative with my staff, and I have secured their jobs and grown their jobs in South Australia and around Australia now. And I actually don't lose staff. I have staff come and ask if they can have a job. You should see my long service ledger, it's horrendous. But I actually have staff come and ask if they can work for me, and I keep them because I try and look after them. I was a working mum with 4 kids, and I know what juggling balls is like, and I know all of those pressures that staff suffer, and like Telstra do. I'm a small business, but I do try very hard to fit in with all of those family requirements, and when someone needs to work less than full time or have days off, I try and accommodate that, and I guess that just makes me human, really. And I think sometimes that's what women have, perhaps more than men. No offence, all of my executive team are men, actually, so I have to be very careful here. But women have always juggled the balls. I mean, you give birth, and so you're sort of at home for a bit, because you have to be. And you're always the one that juggles the balls, and there seems to be more of them. And I've done a lot of community work over my time, but it always seemed to me that when I did that community work, that I was the one that was doing it. And when my husband did community work, I was cooking the barbecue. And it never worked the other way. And so women always are the ones that sort of juggle all of the balls, it seems, because you are at home in those first few years. And I guess that gives you a grounding for understanding how important it is to keep the home happy and safe, and nothing is worth more than that, in my opinion. And so when staff have needed time off, or they've needed to juggle their work hours, or their work commitment, in fact, or their location, I have tried very hard and in fact have accommodated it. And I am very proud of saying that of all the staff of 50 that I juggle, that I have never said no to a roster request except for one AFL Grand Final day. One. Where it seemed they were having a staff party and hadn't invited me, which I was slightly offended by. And I said to I employ a bunch of uni students, and I said to the uni students, okay, well, you're the casuals, so you get the short straw. I'm putting all of your names in a hat, and the 2 that I pull out have to work this day, and the 4 that I don't can have the day off. And I'm just not going to enter into it. And they were really happy with it, and the 2 I pulled out didn't care less, and it was perfectly fine. And so there is always a solution to a problem. You might not like it, but there always is. And then when I've been in the corners along the way, I have reminded myself of my maths teacher telling me there's always a solution to the problem, you just have to find it. And then, of course, you might not like it, and you don't have to choose it, but you know what it is. So sometimes the solution that you find is not one you want, and you can choose it or not, but, you know, there's always a solution. I think I'm done. Thank you very much.